Hi everybody, it's Mary Satoli with the Follow Your Bliss Foundation, and I'd like to wish everybody a happy solstice today. It's kind of a magical day for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere. It is the first day of summer. For those of you in the Southern Hemisphere, it's the first day of winter, which posed an interesting question in my mind that I've thought about before, but maybe somebody knows the answer to this that's listening. But if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, do you celebrate Christmas still in the summer? Like when it's our winter, because we celebrate it in the winter, so it seemed kind of strange. Probably not for you, but for us who celebrate in the winter, having Christmas in the summertime. So anyway, just a little food for thought. Trying to take a morbid subject today and make something fun out of it, which is not easy to do. And I want to bring up a couple of announcements today because it's been sort of a weird couple weeks for me in terms of news and information and things that are coming to me. I'm going to put some links below for this information. The Benzo Legal Action Awareness Group in Facebook has been posting a link for the FDA. It's a place you can file your story, or you submit a, not a complaint, but it's where you would put something, just what you've had a reaction to the medication, and explain your circumstances. The way I filled it out this morning, it's pretty easy to do. They're offering help. I can help anybody that's having a problem with it, because I know some of you who are more mentally challenged than some of us who are further along in recovery may not be able to handle the forms. But this is really important because the more people we have do this, it's kind of the next step, I guess, in getting a class action suit started. So this is really important because one of the things that I guess came back to them was that not enough people were, and I don't think anybody knew, I didn't know that you could file and submit a report of your circumstances to a drug with the FDA, and they investigate if they get enough people. That's what I understand. Of course, I've had my rounds with the FDA, and that's why I wanted to share some of these subjects today, because I think, and I'm going to go back to the phenibut issue here in a minute, but one of the problems I had with the FDA is last summer when I found out that I had developed a cross tolerance with the phenibut, and I think I've talked about the Chill 6 product that a lot of people have come to me and asked me about, that I'm trying to discourage people from using, because I had it in another product called Cavanase. It's not Chill 6, but it has the same active stuff that is a GABA substance, so it still messes with those same neurotransmitters, and you end up with a big problem, and I'm going to go into what I'm going through at the moment to kind of hopefully nail my point across here about how you need to stay away from all these things, especially when you're in withdrawal from the benzo. So the FDA, then, that's a link, and then the way I understand it too is the Legal Action Group. I'm going to put all this information, their website, who you can contact for information, but they are offering a gift card for a drawing they're doing, because they're trying to encourage people to do this. So you just have to send them, make sure you don't do what I did, is you save the confirmation from the FDA when you get it in your email box. But mine went to my spam box, so check your spam box, because you need to have that to send back to the Legal Action Group to show that you've actually submitted a report to the FDA, and then they'll enter you in this drawing. So that's just kind of the short of. I hadn't been on Facebook for a few days because I'd been having a few rough days, and it's partly to do with the subject that we're going to talk about. But this was posted, I don't know how many days ago, that they found out about this thing with the FDA report. So I hadn't seen it. So some of you who are in the Facebook group probably already know about this, but for those of you who don't, please contact me about submitting this. It's really important, especially in lieu of Benzo Awareness Day coming up next month is July 11th. I think I posted my story so you guys could get an example of just how to get on and do a YouTube video, help everybody. For those of you who are camera shy and are just out of it, I think you can post written stories. You would have to contact them, and again, I'll put all that below because I think it's really important that all of us share. All of us need to share what's going on with these drugs, because there are a lot of people that are very sick and don't know it's the benzos, and I can't emphasize this enough. This is why I have taken this project and undertaking with my own situation. I am particularly on the subject of the suicide issue with the benzodiazepines, because we've had quite a hit of people here in the last month or so between Chris Cornell's suicide, Christine Ann, for those of you who are in the legal action group, you'll know who she is. I didn't know her personally, but I was aware that she was at 21 months after cold turkey and just lost it, couldn't handle it. And I don't know all the specifics about how she did it or what happened exactly, but I do know that this hit me pretty hard because of what I went through this weekend. And I'm at my 17-month anniversary today. Yahoo, happy birthday to me. And I'm here to tell you that even though I'm a lot better, it's still not over for me. I've talked to a couple of other people. I don't know what's going on, but it seems like some people are going through a sudden hit of waves recently and are really struggling, and I think that could be the reason for this onslaught of suicides. I've gotten some posts from some people who have been really in a bad place that wanted my help. I reached out to them. Mark, if you are listening to this video, please contact me, because with all these suicides going on, I don't know if these people are freaking out and trying to contact me as a last resort because they've tried everything else, and I don't want you to get that desperate. I really don't want you to get that desperate, because I've been there, and I thought, holy cow, this weekend, if this woman can make it to 21 months and kill herself, and I'm only at 17, 8 on the Lunesta today as well, and I still have a year to go tapering off Phenibut, and I got hit really hard this weekend. I have been down in bed, and I don't know what it was about this particular suicide, and then on the heels of it, the last couple days, there's been posts in the support forum about, sorry, this is just a really emotional thing for me, because I don't like seeing people killing themselves because of these drugs. It's just really hard. I've made friends with a lot of you people. I talk to some of you people regularly on Facebook and on the phone, and we're friends, and I don't want to see anybody else go through this. Alexis Doss, 15-year-old girl from Temecula, California, took a bottle of Loose Bar, I think it was, killed herself on May 20th, I believe it was, and their parents, her parents put out an article that they wanted to share her story to make this more aware for those of us who aren't already painfully aware of this subject. On the heels of Mark's YouTube comment, and please, Mark, call me. I posted a number there for you because I know how sick you are, and the microtapering is really hard for some people. So I want to support you in any way that I can. And then Michelle, hope you don't mind mentioning you, but here's a woman who is got 1 milligram to go off, I believe it's Ativan, or else Pam, you could correct me if I'm wrong, but I read so many posts and emails and stuff that sometimes I get things a little confused, especially when I'm having a rough few days. But she survived a gunshot wound to the head, to the chest, and I can't even imagine what hell you must have gone through to do something like that, with the pain you had to be in. And I know I've been there. I've had suicidal thoughts. It goes along with the withdrawal of coming off these drugs, and it's horrific. And then to have to deal with withdrawal, tolerance withdrawal on top of the gunshot wound, I can't even begin to imagine. And my heart goes out to you, my dear, because all of us are in a lot of pain from these drugs, and no one is believing us. No one. Our friends, our family, the doctors were just shut down, and all we have is each other. And so I really want to reach out to all of you who are trying to reach out in your own way, and don't hesitate to get a hold of me if you get into that place, because I want to tell you that it gets better. Even though I'm not 100% yet, my life is still better than it was before I came off the benzos. A little bit about my weekend, and I wanted to talk a little bit about a product that I heard about from Jocelyn Pedersen, who has a lot of excellent videos. She's part of the Benzo Awareness Founders, and her video was one of the things that I watched to get this information. So I'm going to pass it on to you if you haven't already watched hers, because I know that a lot of people who watch mine watch Don Killian and Jocelyn and a lot of the other people that are doing videos online. So where to start? I had a pretty big mishmash of getting hit with a lot of stress. As you know, I had the medical records that I was going through. The attorneys decided not to take my case. It was very stressful going through and reliving all that stuff. And on the heels of it, it's like everything decided to break at the same time. I was up the other night until 2 o'clock, 2:30. My smoke alarm went off, and of course my balance is all messed up, so I'm up on the chair and I'm really short, so it's like it was like a circus act, truly a circus act. I was up trying to unscrew the smoke detector disc, and then it wouldn't let me take the battery out, so I could just disconnect it and go back to bed. I had to go down to AM/PM at 2:30 in the morning and buy a 9-volt battery to go in it so I could shut the thing up. And fortunately for me, they had one left. So my smoke detector got the one that was left. So on the heels of that, I had vacuum cleaner break, computer issues with my website. I couldn't get into the editing. It's taken them a freaking month to fix it. What else? There was like a whole barrage of things. I mean, just, oh yeah, I think I mentioned maybe last week, 2 weeks ago, I had to switch internet providers because they were going to raise my internet $30. So instead of $30 for the same services, I'm only going up $6 and something through the provider. But they were out here drilling holes in my wall and, you know, chalk and shit all over the place from the drill. And it just was like and I think it just kind of, you know, that you get in that perpetual thing, and it wasn't like you think because you've been through I can't even talk today. I hope this is making you guys feel better, because it's sure helping me. Vent. This is what I get on here and do. I need somebody to vent. You think because you've been through benzo withdrawal that you can handle anything, but you don't realize that you're still stressed out. Even though you're just kind of cruising along and everything seems okay, and like you're just kind of taking it with a grain of salt because nothing seems that bad anymore. But I didn't realize, I guess it just kind of all caught up with me over the weekend, and I just literally had to check out for about 3 days, and I was so depressed and in so much pain from this tight muscle thing. I just been getting like weird things, just feeling like my finger is bent, terrible tingling and zaps, and feeling like bugs are crawling all over me, and just the whole, I was up almost all night. Saturday night, the pain was just excruciating. And I have had days with this where it'll last one day where it's really bad, but not multiple days in a row. For a long time anyway. For a while it hasn't been multiple days in a row, and just this sudden onslaught of stuff is making me wonder, God, am I ever going to be able to handle any amount of stress again without it completely setting my nervous system on fire, even though mentally I can handle it, and physically my body's still like going, ew. So I was so exhausted on Sunday that I don't nap. Even now, I don't nap. I meditate twice a day, and I usually have pretty good energy and stamina for considering what I've been through and what I'm still going through. But I literally had to lay down for over an hour. I was trying to concentrate, distract myself on my screenplays, and refocus my direction, which is really the best thing I can ever do, is when I just get in these funks, is do my cooking, or I pull my recipes out and find something I can cook, find something that I can do yoga, whatever. But I just was flat ass so tired that I laid on the bed and stared at the ceiling and thought, when is this going to be over? And Barbara, I know we exchanged emails yesterday, or YouTube comments, and I know you're going through a bad wave too, and girlfriend, I'm here to support you in any way I can, because I just feel like that we're all getting hit with some of this week, and with everything that's happening. And back to this issue of the suicide, I know I've had several times, and I've contacted friends, or they've called me, and I've just been so completely hopeless that I'm ever going to get completely better and have my life back to a large degree, that you just feel like you can't go on. You feel like I can't take one more step in this fucked up body, and this electrical jolts, and it's not so much the tingling and the electrical voltages that bother me, it's the jabbing and these weird sensations. Like at the beginning of the video, I think you probably saw me looking down at my finger. It felt like my baby finger was just bent, like over like this. And I haven't gotten these symptoms before. So before you guys get, oh my God, it's 17 months and you got to understand, this is why I have been so adamant about the Chill 6 and the Phenibut, because I don't want any of you to go through what I have gone through and what I'm going through. I got cross tolerance to 3 different GABAgenic drugs, the benzos, Lunesta, and the Phenibut. I successfully finished my taper with the Phenibut a year ago, last January, 17 months ago, and the Lunesta 8 months ago, 8 months ago today. And they were bad. They were both bad. The benzo's the worst. The Lunesta definitely ran a close second. For about a month, it was pretty rough. And that was that point where I think I might have mentioned that I just feel like at that point I could not go through any more withdrawal for any more drugs. So I opted to go extremely slow with the Phenibut to give my body time to heal, and also to feel like I'm making progress with this, because if I were to stay, like there's a couple of people that have advised me to just stay on the Phenibut until my body completely recovers from the benzos. But my question to them was, well, how do you know you've completely recovered and that it's not tolerance issues from the Phenibut? I mean, no one really knows about this crap, and this is why I'm so angry, and so many other people are angry, because these goddamn doctors and nurses, and it was my nurse practitioner who actually gave me the Cabinase with the Phenibut in it and was selling it to me on the side. She should have known that you don't give this stuff with benzodiazepine. She should have known. Continued to sell it to me long after I had a probably tolerance withdrawal going on with both of them. I never knew. I never had a clue. I didn't know what was going on. No one understands this stuff. And so I go through these peaks and valleys where, I go along pretty good, and like today I feel pretty good. I slept pretty good last night, and I the joint stuff isn't as bad. Of course, it's come and gone, and I was going to share another piece. I keep getting sidebar. Sorry. Anyway, this cross tolerance issue, you don't want to end up having to go through, because it was very discouraging. At the point that I finished my benzo taper, I thought, I'm done, and then I'm having such horrid withdrawal that I had to go back on the Lunesta, even though I hadn't been taking either the Lunesta or the Cabanase all the time like I had with the Benzos. What happens is you've already damaged your GABA neurotransmitters. It's already a done deal. So if you've got anything remotely in your system, even if it's a couple days a week or once a week or whatever, that's adding to that deficit of GABA that your body can no longer produce, then when you come off, and you try to come off all of it at one time, it was horrid. It was absolutely horrid, and I had no idea what was going on until I talked to the pharmacist that I work with, and he explained all this to me. But I had to go back on the Lunesta, and then what happened is I didn't understand the whole thing with the Phenibut because I hadn't taken it that often either. And then all of a sudden, when I stopped taking it for any length of time, it was just like benzo withdrawal all over again. Horrible shit. Horrible, horrible stuff. And so I had to go back on it. And then once I got done with the Lunesta, I had to slowly taper off it. It's taken me 6 months to get off over 200 milligrams. I have 400 to go. It's going to take me over a year. So you finish one and you think you're done, and then only to find out you've got to go through withdrawal all over again. So I suspect, because I had these bumps and grinds when I was tapering off the benzos and the Lunesta, where I would feel pretty good for a while, and then I think that they sort of reach a point when you're tapering where the body says, okay, enough, and it goes into healing mode, and it ends up being kind of like a bigger chunk of time than it needs to rebound before you can start tapering again. It's the only way I can explain it, because I've had to slow this taper down a couple times and just, give myself a chance to regroup, like over the weekend, because I just thought, I don't know if I can go through any more of this. And having gone through 3 of these substances and not just one, I'm here to tell you that although I don't have suicidal thoughts with the Phenibut, or I haven't had any in quite a while, I do have very discouraged and depressed days, like Sunday, where I could do nothing. I laid on the floor. Everything I tried to do to distract myself felt like just futile. Just felt like futile. I could not get my head anything. I tried writing, I tried singing, I tried playing, I tried everything. And you're going to have days like that where no matter how good you feel, even when people are healthy, they have days that are rough, that you feel, oh God. But when you've got benzo symptoms and you feel like you're never going to break out of that, it's a really hopeless place to be. And this is why I think so many people commit suicide with these drugs, because it takes a warrior. And you guys are really tough who've hung in there and are still staying the course, which is what I tell you. I don't want people to give up. Like the 15-year-old Lexus, that one was really the nail in the coffin for me over the weekend when I saw that, because I didn't know they were administering these kinds of drugs to teenagers. I mean, I did, but they didn't exist when I was a teenager. They didn't give teenagers a drug. They didn't give kids drugs. And it's just like, this is such a hard-pressed issue, because for those of you who don't know what my screenplay is about, it's an animated feature about a planet that's being poisoned by these drugs, and it's mostly the kids. They're poisoning them, and they don't know. And anyway, that's just the short of it. It's just really been a rough a few days. So I have rebounded today. I want you to know that I'm really grateful for you guys, because you know what? You give me the reason to get up in the morning and color my hair today. because I knew I didn't want to get on here all grayed out. And so it gave me a reason to get up and get out of bed, because I thought, you need to make your YouTube video. You need to kick yourself in the ass and get going again, because I'm the only one that can do that for me. I don't have a cheering squad or a family around. I'm the only one that can do that. And same goes for you. Your families, if you have them that are supporting you, can only do so much. You're the one that has to come up with the plan to get yourself through this. So, yeah, I had some pretty bad days with this, and what I suspect is that now that I'm starting to get pretty low on the phenibut, although it's nothing anywhere like, and I suspect too that's probably because I've had over a year to recover from the benzos and 8 months to recover from the Lunesta, so I don't have all this stuff in my system. And mind you, I didn't take any of this stuff until later into the benzo dependency, when the tolerance got really bad and I started having sleep issues again. And that was what they gave them to me for, and no one knew about cross tolerance. These damn doctors, like I said, they really should be shot, because they're the ones with the pens, they're the ones that are writing these things. And if they see you're on a drug, they should say, well, we can't do that because you're on that one. And it should just be that cut and dry. You don't get it. You don't get the drug if you're already on another GABA damaging drug like benzos. So I can't even drive the point home enough that you guys need to stay away from the Chill 6, the Cabernet, the phenibut, any of these kinds of things. Just because they're over the counter does not make them any less of a problem. And although, like I said, I'm at a really pretty low dose of the stuff, and I've healed probably 90% from the benzos and the Lunesta, I'm still probably struggling a bit, because I'm probably having some kind of issue where what I found is that the muscle tightness and stuff was initially really bad at the tail end of my benzo taper. I mean, you should see me, I was running around with lidoderm patches plastered to my chest and my arms and my neck, and it was painful, really. I was living in Epsom salt baths, and I don't have a bath here. I only have a shower, so thinking you guys can all donate $1 to I'm gonna get a waiting tub and put in my closet so I can do Epsom salt baths. I so need it. Anyway, where I lost my train of thought because I got off on a tangent. So I'm probably experiencing some, what I considered was like the Lunesta. When I went back on it, that was down, covering up some of the withdrawal symptoms from the benzos. When I came off that all came to the surface. So now I'm finding with the phenibut that not a lot of it, but enough that it's discouraging, and it's really been a frustrating week so far. And again, like I said, this morning I got up and I felt better than I had since probably Saturday. Saturday was pretty good, and I was having one of those yeehaw days, and I went and I made chocolate chip cookies, and I ate too much chocolate, which is probably what triggered it. See, when it comes down to it, we have no one to blame but ourselves when we go right back to the main issue at hand here was the chocolate chip cookies. So, but what are you going to do? It's like, thank God for food when sex is pretty much a thing of the past. I mean, where I'm concerned anyway, maybe not for a lot of you, but for me, it's a thing of the past, guaranteed. And I am just, enjoying my appetite and my cooking and stuff right now, because it's, aside from music, this is what I have. This is my life until this ends. And I think that's part of the process with this, is the acceptance, which is the hardest thing in the world to, and so I guess I wanted to back up to a couple things I missed here, and I'm getting long-winded today. It's like, this could be another hour video today, I don't know, but depends on how much more I want to vent. But I got a product I mentioned about Jocelyn Pedersen, mentioned the broccoli sprouts really helping her, and I ordered some and I got it yesterday. Still a little too early to tell, but for subtle improvement, and it could just be because that's the way my system goes. It'll be better for a few days, and then I'll have a raunchy day, and so on and so forth. So for those of you who are skeptical about supplements, all this is a concentrated freeze-dried broccoli, 100% I got it from a company that even the capsules are like nothing but vegetable-based cellulose or whatever. There's no other ingredients in this at all. And it's a little pricey, but I'm one of these people that I'm really determined to get better at whatever it takes, because I want my life back. And you guys have to like decide for yourself what is best for you. If you're in tapering or withdrawal, probably not the best time to try or play with things, because I found I did better with supplements after I was all done with that. And I know I'm tapering from the phenibut, but there are some things that I can tell a difference if I don't take. And one of them was I ran out of my B vitamins, which I really think, and I think that was why I was so tired over the weekend. It just blown out, and some of that too, you need the B vitamins to regenerate the nervous system. And today, like I said, it's a tolerable level, but I was getting the whole grand slam on Sunday with where, my stomach all swelled up, and that swelling, it just is in every, I woke up and my fingers looked like cigars. Literally could not get my rings off. And then I had that whole whistling, hissing thing that I hate more than probably any of it was I can't think straight when I have the hissing, and when it's going on so loud that I can hear it over my music when I'm singing or recording something. It's a very annoying symptom to have. So for somebody who's as auditory as I am, because that's how I learn everything and that's how I perceive the world as a musician, and it just is that's a hard one for me to cope with. I think I can tolerate pain more than I can hissing noises, because you can't escape any of it really. And I think that's the thing with suicide is that you just feel like you're stuck and there is no way out, and this is never going to end. And that is pretty much sums up the desperation with this. And so we really need to get the word out with this. So please, I'm encouraging all of you to submit through the FDA this report below on your case. And the broccoli sprouts, again, it's something that you want to try. I'll keep you updated like I did with the thyroid stuff. So far so good. I'm feeling better, not worse, so that's a good sign. And I'm just hoping that I'm not going to have to go through another bad year of withdrawal stuff like I've endured for the last 6 or 7. And I understand the suicide thing. Not that I'm there now, because I've gotten way past that point, but there are days that try me, and I want you to reach out if you're having that struggle, because I want to help you find some reason to keep going, because there's always something, there's some hope, there's something you can find, no matter how glum things seem, which for me was pretty glum for a long time. I guess where the phenibut is concerned, stay away from all that stuff. Stay away. You think you're struggling with just benzo withdrawal? Let me tell you, the cross tolerance thing is unbelievable, and it's so disappointing to think you're going to have to endure that much more and then not know how much longer after you get off that last substance, how long it's going to go on, or if it's going to be permanent. None of us really know that. And even though I would say the majority of people seem to fully recover in time, there are cases that aren't, and I don't want to discourage you any further, because those seem to be the people that are having the symptoms that I'm having, and that's been disheartening for me. But again, I want to encourage the fact that it's good to share with other people, stories with other people, but you don't want to make their recovery your story. Everyone goes through this differently. Everyone has different symptoms. Some fare better, some fare worse, some have stronger constitutions and are able to tolerate a lot more than others, but I don't want you to make those experiences yours. You can compare notes and And even on, I recommend that even on the days that you are having a really rough time, like Sunday, I stayed away from all the stories online. That's why I hadn't seen the stuff on Facebook until yesterday, and the day Monday, I think, was because I kind of just took 24 hours. And I mean, I couldn't even watch a movie. I couldn't get my head into it. I was so depressed. And I finally, last night, if you guys are looking for a good, nice movie, feel-good movie, Mr. Church with Eddie Murphy, and I can't think of the actress's name, but it was really good. And it kind of reminded me of a Morgan Freeman movie, if you guys are, any of you are Morgan Freeman fans, which I am. And just really kind of just a feel-good movie. And I think we need some of that feel-good stuff in our life with going through this. So I just kind of checked out for a couple days. It's and just I didn't really go anywhere until yesterday, and then I finally said I got to get out of the house, so I went shopping. Grocery shopping, that's what I do, and I figure out what can I make next. So I made granola yesterday, watched a movie, went shopping, and got my broccoli sprouts from the post office box. So I'm on a mission to see how this works. That's what I meant to back up on the broccoli sprouts a minute. Those are, they have a substance called, I'm probably going to pronounce it wrong, Serafons. I'm going to try to pronounce it because I should have looked it up first before we started this. But it is an anti-inflammatory that has very good track record. It appears anyway, and it does seem to affect the neurological system. They've used it in studies on, I believe it's ADHD or one of those, bipolar disorder, one of those, schizophrenia, I think that's what it was. Yeah, okay. And I don't know that there's any real clear clinical proof about the GABA stuff, but if it's good enough for Jocelyn, it's good enough for me. She seems to have a pretty good grip on it, and she's a little ahead of me in her recovery process. I believe a little over 2 years, and her videos got me through some terrible nights. So I want to thank you, Jocelyn, and thank you for the tip on the broccoli sprouts. Sharing that forward with y'all. And I guess that's pretty much it, as if it's not enough for today. I can't emphasize enough that if you guys are suicidal in any way, please contact me. And I am hoping that I'll hear from a few of you who have posted that I was concerned about, because sometimes I never hear from you all again after I've made an effort to contact you, and I don't know what's going on, and it really makes me wonder how many people are committing suicide from this, and their families don't know what's going on, or anyway. So you guys rock. And it's just good to be able to share today. This made me feel better, I think. The jury's still out on that. Now that I have my website finished, I've got about 2 blogs to catch up on, and I've got some new songs that are in the queue, ready to be mixed. I had one that came out yesterday that I posted, so thank you all for the nice comments. It's been my lifeblood doing this stuff again and keeping me sane through this horrible experience that we're all going through. But if we stick together on this, hopefully we will have a nice class action suit, thanks to the Benzo Awareness Coalition, who are doing some amazing things to educate and get the word out. And this is where the information came from on this FDA report. So it's going to take us all kind of banding together and doing our part with this to help ourselves as well as help others. So again, I think I've said this before, but thank God for the internet, because none of us would have any contact to any of this stuff, and the other people who so valiantly supported the rest of us going through it, the Don Killians and Jocelyn Pedersons and the coalition, and Janice and Jan Kraft and all these people that I've talked to along the way that have little bits and pieces of information that they've passed on to me that I can pass on to you, and you can pass on to others going through it. It's kind of a pay it forward campaign without for benzos. Pay it forward for benzo campaign. So anyway, I'm having so much fun. I kind of hate to cut it off now because I haven't laughed in about 5 days, I guess, maybe a week, and I needed to laugh. So, one more thing. I'm starting out on another venture this weekend. I'm doing a kidney cleanse, and this is kind of something else I did some research on. I'm getting ordered a collagen protein, and I'll share that with anybody who wants to check it out. But it's kind of just doing a reset of the adrenal glands. That's what I understand it to do. I've read some of Dr. Axe's material. He seems pretty good. I don't know how I'm going to do with it. You're supposed to do it for 3 days. I'm going to try to do it a few more if I can tolerate it, but it's just taking this protein with a smoothie with blueberries, cranberries, and black cherries. And I was kind of waiting for the black cherries to really get in season here, being the early July, coming up on early July, because I would rather do fresh than frozen, but if I have to do frozen, I will. And then you just eat like chicken breast and salad every night. So it's just kind of a reset button for the adrenal glands. And I was hoping that, like I said, I'm willing to try anything that I think is going to help as long as I'm not having a negative impact from it. And so far, knock on wood, I've been fortunate that I haven't had too much trouble with supplements. I've had to back off things during my taper and then add things in and try things one at a time again. And then I kind of go through spells where I'll quit doing something for a while and just give it a break. So I'll keep you posted on that next week. Because I could come in here, my hair could be all frazzled and going, I want to eat chocolate chips. and oh my God, I'm getting carried away here. What can I say? You guys rock. Again, hang in there, and please, the suicide issue is a big one, and I am really saddened by all these deaths that have happened, and not to make it light of it, but I know these families are really suffering that have lost their children and other members because of these drugs. So please contact me before you do anything crazy, okay? And that's me for now, signing out, and enjoy your summer, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye now.